Right, and I feel like the left really pushes this idea, and a great example of this side is Kamala Harris, and we'll move on to Kamala. And this is a tweet. I'm
Just.
not like, yeah, this is a tweet from her. I'm not like modifying anything. Reading it verbatim here. January 6th reflects the dual nature of our democracy, its fragility and strength. The fragility of democracy is that if we are not vigilant, democracy will not stand. The strength of democracy is that everyone should be treated equally and that elections should be free and fair. Now, one thing to point. We're at the point
How is
here
that a
where,
strength? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt your point, but how the fuck is that a strength? That's just a principle. That's the definition
yes.
of democracy. The strength is supposed to be the thing that counteracts the weakness. How does that counteract the weakness?
Well, aside from that making no sense, Democrats are not going to weaponize, and this is when it starts, in my opinion. Democrats are going to weaponize January 6th against Republicans right now. And you see this because Kamala Harris says the fragility of democracy is that if we are not vigilant, democracy will not stand. So now she's making the presumption that if we do not do anything we can to bring another January 6th, which is give complete control to Kamala Harris, then democracy will fall. So we're just getting into this point where if the right does not agree with Kamala and Joe Biden, then they don't stand with democracy.
Right.
That is a very warped perception of life.
That is a very 1984-esque sort of worldview that we're going for here, Kamala. I mean, you literally just want everyone who disagrees with you to be, cast aside and possibly quote-unquote dealt with.
Yes. So progressive.
There's someone else who came up with a very similar idea. What was his name? Oh, yeah, George Orwell? Oh, wait. It was supposed to be a warning, not a guidebook? Whoops.
And by the way, it's like, if you don't think that's bad, and like, okay, maybe she said it wrong, right? She didn't mean to, attack the right.
She just, misspoke. She gaffed, if you will.
Right. Even though she wrote this on Twitter, or someone else wrote on Twitter for her.
And also, she's not Biden.
Right. If you think all that, fine, fair enough. But Kamala Harris, in a speech on January 6th, 1 year after its anniversary,
the January 6th that just passed.
Yeah. She said that January 6th is comparable to 9/11 and Pearl Harbor.
Certain dates echo throughout history, including dates that instantly remind all who have lived through them where they were and what they were doing when our democracy came under assault. Dates that occupy not only a place on our calendars, but a place in our collective memory. December 7th, 1941, September 11th, 2001, and January 6th, 2021.
Do you see where this is going? We went from, if you are a Republican who supported Trump, you don't stand by democracy, to you are literally on par with Pearl Harbor and 9/11.
Oh, what the fuck?
You are literally a terrorist.
Literally.
How? If anything, the BLM writers are fucking terrorists.
Right?
Tearing down fucking stores. If anything, it makes more... The rate of capital makes more sense, because if you have a problem with the government, take it up with the government, not the fucking stores.
Exactly. Okay, the BLM writers, they wanted political control, but they knew that if they actually did anything to the government would fight back and kick their asses. So the solution was to terrorize citizens. It's literally terrorism. Terrorism as in striking terror into the hearts of the masses so they shut up and comply. That's terrorism. That's literally the definition.
Yeah, and we went from in my opinion, it's a very big escalation from, okay, this was a very bad event that happened on January 6th, let's not repeat it again, to, okay, if you supported Trump during the time, you are literally against democracy. And by the way, it's a very large escalation to, if you supported Donald Trump, you are January 6th, and January 6th is equivalent to 9/11 and Pearl Harbor.
No, it's not. It did not even affect our country nearly as much as 9/11 or Pearl Harbor.
Okay, this is kind of a clown moment, but they do know that Pearl Harbor, right, was, committed by, the Japanese. And, fun fact about the Japanese, sure, they were definitely imperialists, but they were Eastern imperialists. They were not Western imperialists. One little just tidbit that maybe might be a little bit noteworthy, since the left is very used to calling everyone on the right and the center, literally fascist, literally Hitler, literally neo-Nazis, whatever. They should be careful about what comparisons they make, especially if their biggest burn towards these white supremacists is that their beliefs are as bad as what the Asians did.
Yeah.
Like, the only person who's gonna find that offensive is an actual white supremacist. Like, gaga, bro. Like...
I mean... Hey, we're coming back full circle.
For real. Honestly, I genuinely do believe that everyone... Not everyone. Not everyone. That is an overgeneralization, and that's not fair. But a large minority of progressive activists are or were racist, and they think that they can atone for their sins by being progressive, but they're using their old racist ideology and sort of tendencies by thinking about groups of people, this sort of this group mentality, this anti-individualist rhetoric to be progressive. And so there's like these small moments where they go full mask off, like, you shouldn't want to be like Pearl Harbor because they were Asian. It's like, what are you doing, bro? I thought you were supposed to be, the party of like MLK, like the,
tolerance.
The party of tolerance, the party of peace. None of this is what you are talking about.
And I just want to make one quick point on the Party of Peace. Hillary Clinton in 2016 literally campaigned on affecting airspace close to Russia.
Oh yeah,
now,
literally starting World War III.
Literally starting World War. Like, how can you call yourselves the Party of Peace and then go and say Hillary Clinton is your role model? Like, how does that work? Explain it to me. But we don't have enough time for that.
Yeah. We will definitely retread that whole thing in another video. But basically, this whole thing about January 6th, it's just going to keep escalating. And I've been saying this, for quite a little while. I think I have said it on previous episodes, is that the left does cannibalize itself. The left is down an endless purity spiral, and it doesn't really stop for anyone. This goes for, Twitter. This goes for, social media online spaces. This goes for politicians. This also goes for, big political events like January 6th. It's not that Republicans are evil. It's that you have to find more words to make them more evil every year because you're going farther and farther left.
You worry about leaving a better planet for our kids. How about leaving better kids for our planet? Entire generation offended at everything, getting mad that a human thinks all lives matter. We don't need black or white or left or right. What we need is common sense. We need balance. We're all in the same boat. Why you trying to make holes? If they sink, we sink. This is madness.